welcome you to the show. Today we are going to have a power pack session on how to have a career in law. We all must have. आवाज आ रही है किसी की इधर से?
Yeah, you are audible. You are audible.
Hollywood
You can hear you.
enthusiasts may never have forgotten a scene from My Cousin when Ginny in the opening statement says, "Oh, everything that guy says is a bullshit. Thank you." And Jim Trotter says, "Objection. Counsel, entire opening statement is argumentative." Our own Bollywood portraying lawyers as heroes, detectives, and everything under the sun a legal person can become. We just can't forget. तारीख पे तारीख मिलती रही है लेकिन इंसाफ नहीं मिला from a very famous film and a very famous hero. We have even seen a person called K.D. Pathak, a very famous character in TV, portraying as a lawyer, जो कहते हैं जो होता है वो दिखता नहीं, जो दिखता है वो होता नहीं, तो हो सकता है तो दिख रहा है वो हो ना, और जो दिख नहीं रहा है वही हो. Don't you think it's quite confusing? Let's move ahead from this. We have a very big team of lawyers who are practicing and are also from academia. So let's welcome them all with a big round of applause. The first in the queue is Mr. Amrendra Nath Tripathi. Immediately after completing LLB from prestigious Delhi University, enrolled as an advocate with Bar Council in year 2002 and started to practice in Delhi High Court and Supreme Court since 2002. Afterwards, he shifted to Lucknow and started practicing in Lucknow bench of Allahabad High Court on corporate and service and constitutional side from 2014. He has established Legalia, a full-service law firm in year 2005, committed to provide commercially sound and viable solution to its clients. Practicing on corporate, civil, service, constitutional side in High Court jurisdiction of Allahabad Law Bench of Lucknow. Appeared on behalf of number of institutions and banking companies, universities as an individual client in court. Currently standing counsel of Rashtriya Sanskrit Sansthan, a deemed university before Lucknow bench of Allahabad High Court. His clienteles include Syndicate Bank, Abhyuday Cooperative Bank Limited, Bombay Mercantile Cooperative Bank Limited, ICICI Bank, ICICI Lombard, General Insurance Company, Sony India, Tata Indicom, Yamaha, and Prabhel. Welcome, sir. Sirish Kumar ji, he is BA LLB with more than 30 years of experience. He has been practicing before Lucknow bench of Honorable Allahabad High Court. His key area of expertise include services. Welcome, Sirish ji.
Thank you.
Dr. Atul Tiwari, he is BSc Honours, LLB, LLM and PhD. He is Associate Professor in Law. He is former Head of the Department of Legal Studies. He is currently the Director Postgraduate Diploma in Cyber Law Program, Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia, National Law University, Lucknow. Dr. Tiwari is the founding faculty of Dr. RML National Law University. He is the author of several books on law. Dr. Tiwari has been the recipient of UGC Merit Scholarship during his LLM course in BHU, Banaras Hindu University. He is looking after various important academic and administrative responsibilities. Presently, he is associated with many reputed universities as member, Board of Studies. Dr. Tiwari has contributed immensely in formulation and introduction of LLM, LLB, LLM and PhD programs of several universities. His areas of interest are environmental law, constitutional law, and cyber law. Welcome, sir. Nitin Rakesh. His educational qualification include BSL, LLB from Symbiosis Law College, Pune. He is currently the director of Law Preparatory Tutorial, Lucknow. He has received Academic Excellence Award in 2019 by Bennett and Coleman. Welcome, Nitinji. We have another panelist, Mr. Satyendra Kumar Singh. Mr. Satyendra Kumar Singh is a career coach, motivational speaker, author, columnist, and he's the founder of Career Groomers. He is a certified global career counselor by University of California, Los Angeles Extension. He has, to his credits, 22 years of experience in academics and industry. He is a columnist at various newspapers and expert panelist on various media channels like Akashvani, Zee Salam, Zee UP, Doordarshan, Live Today, India Watch, India News, etc. He has authored books on various topics. Currently, he has to his credits 3 books of Hindi poems, 2 books on career guidance. Also, a short story book with 501 stories is under publication. We welcome Mr. Satyendra Kumar Singh in absentia. Before moving forward, let me introduce you to the host of this event, Career Groomer. Career Groomer is a season in providing comprehensive guidance to identify the right stream of study leading to dream jobs according to strengths and abilities of individual. This is a highly need-based guidance required in the existing multidimensional and competitive scenario. Career Groomers explores the innate strengths and interests through psychometric assessments to facilitate the selection of right course of job. Career Groomers provide online and offline training in various fields to develop skills in demand. We also emphasize to develop creative minds in healthy bodies by conducting informative webinars and workshops on topic of mass interest. I, Dr. Sanchita, your moderator for the day, welcome you all to the very good evening of Sunday. You all came here and joined this show and provided us with the time which was supposed to be for your family and your friends. I truly appreciate and say thank you from the core of my heart. Welcome you all, and I welcome my all audience to the show. Let's move forward. I'll start from Nitinji. Nitinji, when should one decide to go for a law course?
Again, deciding is a very important factor. When we decided, it was very late. When I was a student, post my class 12, I decided what to do in my life. And I wasted 1 year, or I dropped 1 year that time, and then I prepared myself for various law entrances. Like that time, we never used to have CLAT and these all India basis law entrances. So I wrote National Law University Bangalore entrance, which I remember. I wrote Symbiosis. I wrote Devi Ahilyabai, and these were the few which I wrote. So our times it was people used to decide after class 12, but nowadays students have become very smart due to a lot of information which are available to them due to career counseling, due to their parents, due to peer group pressures. So I think right time to decide will be around class 9th or 10th, because as per, if they decide in class 9th or 10th, as per their decision they can choose subjects in 11th and 12th. Suppose somebody chooses to become a lawyer or wants to pursue law in after class 12. So, and he wants to focus for his CLAT or other law entrance preparation with his class 11th and 12th. So what we suggest that he should go for humanities, because school pressure will be less on the child. So if you ask in one line what is the right time, I'll say it will be around from class 9 to 11, and best time will be 9th or 10th. That is the thing that one should decide. You're not audible to me. I can't hear you, ma'am.
Thank you, Nitin ji. Welcome, Satin ji, to this show. We welcomed you in absentia. You were absent then. Anyways, thank you for being there. Satin ji, as a career guide, my question to you is LLB an undergraduate course or a specialized professional course? And what is the basic qualification to do law studies? Satin ji, you are not audible.
Thank you, Dr. Santika. LLB happens to be an undergraduate degree, which is a 3-year program that aims to impart education in the field of law. And this course is particularly intended for graduates. Right. Apart from this, LLB, there are other programs as well, which is like BA LLB, which happens to be a 5-year duration program, for which 10 plus 2 is the basic qualification to pursue. And similarly, you can have BGL and BAL program, that means Bachelor of General Law and Bachelor of Academic Law, which is undergraduate distance learning program in the field of law. After which we cannot practice in the court of law, but obviously it gives you the basic knowledge of law. And for that, the qualification happens to be graduation in any stream.
Thank you. Atulji, coming to you. These days we hear 3 years LLB and 5 years integrated program. According to you, which one is better, a 3 years LLB or a 5 years integrated program?
Now, both these programs have their own advantages. It all depends what you want to be. So let me tell you first of all that LLB is not about only litigation. It is not about only becoming a lawyer. It offers you the opportunities to become what you want to become. Okay? And therefore, it all depends. As Mr. Nitin pointed out, that right time is to start thinking about it when you are, in your 10th, etc., so that you can join 5-year law course, which has now become mainstream law course. Okay, so that is the best option. But then, even if you have missed the bus, the system today provides you the opportunity to board the bus once again after your graduation. So both the courses are good. There is no disadvantage. But obviously, if you are focused to make a career in law, it is preferred that you decide to enter into law career through 5-year course after class 12.
Okay. Thank you, Atulji. Amrenji, my question may sound a little silly, or maybe I may sound a little funny. My question to you is, but it's a general concern that I have, and I've heard a lot of people saying this, that we see many big fat books in a law chamber. Does it require extensive study to become a successful lawyer? क्या पढ़ते रहना होता है या इतना सारा बुक होता है, सब कुछ पढ़ लेना होता है?
Not like that. We need to keep on studying all the time, all the fat law books, because the study of law is based on the references. Like, for an example, the law reporting books which comes in the form of the periodicals. At that time, when we research on a particular topic, on a particular subject, then we come to know exactly at what phase of which volume of which year we need to go straight away.
Okay.
And with the new technologies coming, like online database available in the form of SCC and many other law journals which are coming in the digital form, the law research has become much more easier. In earlier times, when senior lawyers were working or practicing in the chambers, there used to be a tradition of maintaining litigation case diaries by the juniors. They keep on maintaining their diaries, in which they keep on updating all the new case laws which gets developed or which comes from the Supreme Court or the High Court, which they keep on noting on their diaries, which was their sole database. And from those references, at the time whenever the said law is required, they go to the reference books to find out. Now with the advent of new digital technology, the digital database available, that things become much more easier now. So it's not true that we need to study all the time, all the fat books. What happens in a particular case, a book of 500 pages, we need only 5 paragraphs of a particular page. We straight away go to that page and go through those paragraphs. In if a particular topic you want to read, then we need to read that topic or the book. And as you said, if you have entered into this field, whether it's a corporate law or it's corporate litigation or civil litigation or criminal litigation, definitely studies is a part of this whole profession. You need to be ready with the contemporary laws. You need to be ready with the new case laws which keeps on emerging with passage of time. Law is said to be a dynamic concept. It keeps on changing with change of time. The interpretation keeps on changing with the new case laws coming from the courts and new laws. We see that every parliament session we have few more new laws coming. So we need to be updated ourselves. So it's true that we need to study, but it is not true that we need to study alone, nothing else.
थोड़ा सा डर कम हुआ शायद. If I could make out from what you said, it's almost like doctors studying new medicines and new theories of medication and new diseases, whatever is coming. So a doctor keeps on studying. So becoming a lawyer, it's not that you have to study. The only thing is you have to be updated. And this is quite important for any of the careers that we go. We have to keep ourselves updated. If the panelist agrees with me. Coming to Shirish ji, I've seen and heard that in CA there is a full-fledged paper in law. So can a CA eligible to plead in any of the finance-related cases in the court? Shirish ji?
Only an advocate can appear in a court of law.
Okay.
A CA can appear in a court of law provided he is a law graduate and is enrolled with the Bar Council.
Okay.
Unless he is enrolled with the Bar Council, he cannot practice in a court of law. Although he can appear in tax-related cases before other authorities like Income Tax Commissioner, tax assessing authorities, commercial tax before the departmental authorities in the GST or commercial tax department. But for appearance in a court of law, one has to have registered as an advocate with the Bar Association.
Okay, so you have to complete your law studies and get associated with Bar Council, then only you can practice.
Yes,
okay.
You have to have a law graduate and enrolled with the Bar Association to be an advocate.
Well, coming back to again Hindi movies and the serials that we see, anybody जिसने कभी कभार थोड़ा सा भी अपने करियर में या अपने पढ़ाई में थोड़ा सा लॉ कहीं से पढ़ लिया, they are seen to go to the courtroom and plead and milord ये कर दीजिए वो कर दीजिए and everything happens. So it's not like that. You have to be a proper law graduate. You have to have a proper qualification in law, and at the end, as Shirish said, you have to get registered in the Bar Council. Then only you can practice. It's just not you just move on to the court and start pleading. अतुल जी से मेरा दूसरा सवाल ये है कि generally law has been traditionally considered as a humanity stream. But these days we hear BSc LLB, BCom LLB, and even BTech LLB. Do we have something like MBBS LLB, like so that the person can work with the medical legal cases?
Okay. Yes, of course, these are innovations. But as I was telling you, that there are two ways of getting LLB degree. One is through 3 years mode, one is through 5 years mode. Now, if you are determined to have a law degree and you want to make career in law, it is always advisable to save your year and go for a 5-year LLB degree, okay, which is an integrated program. Now, there are other options, say 3 years of graduation in any discipline and then 3 years of LLB degree. So it makes your LLB 6-year course. So it should be avoided if you are determined to do law. Number one. Now you asked about what is the difference BA LLB, BSc LLB, BBA LLB. So thing is that being an integrated course and law is a diverse area. We need to specialize. This is the era of specialization. Therefore, certain law schools, they offer these courses, specialized courses. Say, for example, IIT Kharagpur has started BTech LLB. Okay, so even IITs are offering LLB programs. So who knows that a medical institute will start offering LLB program? But till date, nobody has offered MBBS LLB, but there is no bar. MBBS qualified doctor is qualified to enroll in a LLB program. So that is a possibility, and that will definitely, I mean, as I said, that the lawyers are needed in every field of life, and therefore, these integrated programs are offering the options.
Chidarji, although this question is not pointed to me, but I would like to point it out a particular fact. One has to have an engineer, a doctor, a scientist to practice in the field of law. Because if you are practicing in the criminal side, you need to have a very thorough knowledge of forensic laws or medical science. Suppose, for example, if we take up the case of Hathras, recent case of Hathras incident, whenever the trial begins, the advocate who is appearing for either of the parties has to be conversant with the medical laws as well. Whether the incident really happened, what are the consequences, what is the nature of injuries, how old the injuries are, with the object with which these injuries can be inflicted upon. So to present all these issues in a court of law, one has to have a very thorough knowledge of the forensic laws, medical laws, technology, and everything. So officially there may not be an MBBS LLB course, but practically every lawyer who is working in a particular field is either a doctor or an engineer besides being an advocate. So please, you are not audible.
Thank you, Shirishji. Having said that, I have a question in mind. Does that mean that a lawyer also has to study forensic sciences to become a criminal lawyer?
No, not necessarily. A study of forensic science is necessary for being a criminal lawyer. There are bank scams. There are other in the area of civil legislation. One has to have a little knowledge of forensic laws, because the age of a particular document is to be ascertained. Whether you need to have a knowledge on calligraphy also to determine the age of a document, age of a person, mental state of the witness. So knowledge of forensics laws or medical science, there is a term in the medical legal in the legal jurisprudence. So you have to have a very in-depth knowledge of all these subjects for being a successful lawyer.
Okay, अब वही है, आता है दिमाग में, क्योंकि मूवीज में हमने वही देखा हुआ है कि
We should
lawyer
not.
को हर चीज आता है.
What we see in the movies, that has no application in actual court proceedings.
Yes,
The court proceedings are altogether different than the movies.
it's all glamorized. It's all glamorized. Amrit has something to say, I guess.
Yes, I do believe so.
Now, in the criminal side practice, specifically, whenever there is a murder by automatic weapon, the projectile of the bullet is one of the major consideration to determine from what distance fire was being made.
Oh my God.
That is
Acha.
the application of the forensic science.
We don't.
As well as
We
the
don't.
physics.
हाँ.
The source of light, the source of light to identify the culprit, if there is an eyewitness, the projectile, what is the distance of fire by the weapon, and the weaponry used, like the injuries are inflicted by which weapon, that can be determined by the knowledge of the physics as well as medical science. All the injuries are,
Okay.
There is a but what happens is take help from the expert of the field, whether it is the medical or it is the physical or engineering. So generally they take aid of such experts which is permissible under law to understand that, because neither the lawyers nor the judges are the expert of these fields. So generally, but in foreign countries, I know at least one of my classmates was pursuing some medico-legal diploma because she is in US, and there if you are assisting a lawyer in a criminal case, then you need to have a person in a team who has knowledge of the medical legal. So there they run some diploma courses just to teach the elementary basic things which are required under the criminal.
So
Right.
instead of watching regular Bollywood stuff, if you want, we should watch movies like Ek Ruka Hua Faisla, The Train, Qanoon.
Okay.
So these
Okay.
movies will give you an insight into
And
the
with
legal
that
field.
idea. Ji Atulji.
Yeah, just I wanted to highlight one thing, and your viewers should know
Yes, sir.
that in top-notch law schools, such as the National Law University I represent, only 5 to 10% students are interested in doing law practice. So our discussion should not portray the picture that law degree is just to become a lawyer.
Yes.
There are
That's
so
very-
many other career options. Doing practice is one option. So I would like to highlight that in an average class that we have in a National Law University, as I said, that 5 to 10% opt for law practice in high courts and Supreme Court. Some go for lower court practice as well, but the number is minuscule. Yet most of them, they go for 90% of them, they go for other career opportunities,
Right.
such as, law plus MBA is in huge demand. So many of our students, they choose IIMs and top-notch business schools. A law degree with a business degree could do wonders. Okay. Similarly, company secretaryship, CA-ship, all these courses after law makes you, in demand, and you will have the edge. So
Okay.
thereafter, there are many career opportunities, such as in almost all the corporate houses, big corporate houses, they want a legal expert, law officer. So you can become a corporate lawyer. So briefing lawyer. I mean, you will not actually practice before the court of law. You will brief the lawyer engaged by the corporate house.
Okay.
Then similarly, in banks also there are law officers. In most of the public sectors, there are law officers. So all these are opportunities. And then most sought after career is judiciary. You can join as a judge just after your LLB, after few years of practice as higher judiciary judge, and then you can, after practice, you can become a high court judge and go on up to Supreme Court. So there are so many other career opportunities that I think we should focus upon and highlight. Okay, litigation is, yes, very challenging, but it is because two prominent lawyers are sitting on the panel. They would say that it involves a lot of struggles, especially for a youngster to establish a practice is very difficult in the beginning. Okay,
I was about to ask that.
yeah, so everybody may not be interested in taking that risk, and therefore there are easy options available and better starts available. So I think we can talk about those things as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, Nitinji. Nitinji, I'm not audible.
I'm saying I want to add on what Dr. Atul Kumar Tiwari said, and I completely agree with him. When you talk about career after law, there are around 15 sectors which you can join after completing a 5-year law course. And sir has mentioned 3, 4. One of them was corporate. that means joining companies. Then banks keeps law officers. Then FMCG, they all recruit lawyers. Then you have legal journalism. Now this is another sector. Suppose somebody, if you want to write an article about Kulbhushan Jadhav's case, so you have to be an expert about law also, and you should know about legal journalism also. All the media houses, they recruit lawyers in good numbers because they have a lot of cases against them, especially of defamation. Then law firms, which are the leading recruiters of lawyers currently from national law universities, they recruit lawyers. International NGOs, even bodies like WHO, HOPE, UNICEF, they recruit lawyers. Then you have LPOs, again a new entity which came to India around 10, 12 years back. The full form is legal process outsourcing. So they recruit lawyers. As such, judiciary is one of the finest people for that. So there are many sectors which a student or a lawyer who has completed a 5-year or a 3-year law course can join in. It is not only about litigating or going for civil services, post-your law. So there are many sectors. And there's a myth in India that after completing law, you have two options. One, join the court as a lawyer, other, join the court as a judge. But no, there are around 15, 16 sectors which you can join.
Thank you so much. That was very enriching. And we have a question from the audience, Mr. Atendra Kumar Shukla. He says some of the KPO offers job to law graduates as well as India for ESG, environmental social governance. Not exactly written the question, but I think he wants to know whether what is it like.
Yes, KPO do offer jobs to the law graduates.
Okay. So I think it's an analysis or whatever it is. Another question is from Kirti Singh Chauhan. She's asking, do you think if a person is thinking about practicing litigation, he or she is going to do a challenging work?
Yes, of course. Of course.
Kirti Singh, it's really going to be challenging for you if you are thinking.
No doubt. Every day is a challenge. Every day, every case is a challenge.
Yeah. Satyendra, my question to you would be how to choose a college or university to pursue law degree. I mean to ask, like, what are the basic things that a person should look into for choosing the college and university for pursuing law?
Yeah. There are many choices available to the students as far as the courses are concerned and as specializations are concerned. So it's always, you have to put in efforts to pick up the best college for you. And there are certain parameters which you should take care of. The very fundamental thing is like the practical exposure, as our esteemed panelists have said, that lot of legal work has to be done on that is based on interpretation. So therefore, for being a successful lawyer, you don't have to read or you don't have to actually memorize bare facts, but you should also need to understand how actually the courts are going to perform, how they habitually interpret and act upon the cases. So a good college must offer the opportunities to do the internship with senior judges, the lawyers, the law firms. So such internship is also critical in providing the necessary practical exposure. So some of the institutions definitely have their clinical programs. So you must find out whether the particular institution that you're going to opt for is giving you the practical exposures or not. For that matter, you can obviously talk to the alumni or senior people out there. That is one thing. Second is like the facilities and the faculty there. Any good college or university, they claim to have the world-class infrastructures, including the academic buildings, the journals, the databases, and everything. So, but that needs to be, taught in a proper way. Quality of teachers and the professors at that particular university or college is again the second parameter that is very, very important. And third happens to be like availability of the courses or the specializations that you are going to opt for. Actually, what happens most of the time, the students just go for the law program they actually don't put in much of the efforts in picking up the specializations as per their interest. Any career that you opt for is going to be practice for next 30 or 40 years. So you need to pick up some subject, some specialization that is actually in tune with your genuine interest. Genuine interest, I'm saying again. So it should appeal your mindset. It should appeal your frame of mind, your interest, and your passion. So that is there. And apart from that, you need to focus upon the curriculum that is followed there. Placements opportunities definitely are going to be one of the major things. Uh, Library facilities. Uh, Apart from that, location is also one of the major parameters, because if you are picking up top 10 law schools in India, they are obviously having their own importance of locations. But otherwise, if you're not making these kind of institutions, then it is preferred that you should pick up some law school or law college or institute, which is somehow or the other, in a very closer proximity to your geographical area, the place you belong to. So these are various parameters that you should take care of, and we definitely guide people, guide the students and parents to look on these parameters while opting for the best of institute they would like to have.
Okay. Means we need to find out where we are currently and how easy we can reach that place, and geographical location also matters. Like we have seen most of the North Indians, they face a lot of problems when they move to South India, or maybe related to food and all, and the climate condition. And most of the people who are currently staying in coastal areas, when they move to North India, they have real problems. So we need to find out if that college has any geographical problem or not, and then we can move ahead. Thank you so much, Satyinji. Nitinji, is CLAT the only entrance test for going for
Uh,
law?
I think I'll add on to that. Dr. Kumar Tiwari wanted to add on to something. I think you missed, ma'am.
Yes, Atul.
Yeah, in fact, I just wanted to add on to what Dr. Satyendra Singh has highlighted. You see, life in a law school is a lifetime opportunity. Okay, so while choosing a law school, you should actually look into several aspects, and one is campus life. Why national law universities are sought after? Number one, the best of the legal aspirants, they join national law universities. Number two, that they have very good infrastructure, adequate faculty, and they have a culture that develop your overall personality. Okay, so National Law School of India University, Bangalore, has actually set up an example for all other law schools. And most of the law schools, they follow that model. So in that model, you will see that there is an enriched campus. If I take example of my own campus, we have infrastructure for overall grooming of the personality of the students. Okay, so it's not only law teaching and learning, but overall development of the personality. Therefore, you must have a sports facility, you must have cultural fest, you must have debating culture. Mooting culture is a must in a law school. Then opportunity to participate in national and international conferences. You would be surprised to know that 25% of our students, they visit one or other foreign nation in their during their period of 5 years stay with us. Okay, in the process of participating in several events. So overall personality development has to be offered by the law schools. Okay, so there are national law universities, but seats are very less in comparison to engineering and medical. And so Mr. Nitin would tell you more about the type of competition and the level of competition that has become, especially in the CLAT. I'm in a national law university, so we get students who are the cream. Okay, but then if you miss 2-3 questions, you are out of the race. But that does not mean that you are not capable of pursuing the same level of education. So there are colleges offering same level of education, having same infrastructure. So information about them can be propagated by institution like you, for organization like Career Boomers. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, thank you, sir. Nitin ji, coming to you,
Yes,
my
ma'am.
question was, is CLAT the only entrance test to go for law? And like we hear, CLAT clear ho gaya. What does that mean? Clearing CLAT means do they have to score a particular marks, or is it that they have to pass, or like if they fail or pass, is there something like that for getting into a 3 years or a 5 years program?
Okay. So I'm coming. I think you have asked me three questions. So first question will be: is the CLAT only option? CLAT is the best option, not the only option. Other than CLAT, you have some entrances which provides admission to good colleges. For example, there's a test called ALET, which gives you admission to National Law University Delhi. There is a test called SLAT, through which you get admission to various symbiosis colleges, law colleges. Then there is Maharashtra CET test. You get you to ILS Pune or Government Law College Mumbai, or you have BHU. For 3 years course, you have fantastic Delhi universities there. You have BHU is there, Pune University, Bombay University. So there are options other than CLAT also. But again, if you're looking for placements, you're looking for job from your campus, I think there are very less, still very less colleges in India which are doing it. So other than CLAT, there can be symbiosis or ILS or GLC who can provide you the placements. Private universities are not able to provide you much placements. I don't want to name any university right here because I don't want to, brand somebody or defame somebody. But again, these universities, private universities, they're training well. But as Sir said, you cannot bring the culture, mooting culture, debating culture. It comes to the students. When the cream student comes to a college, you have those that they have in themselves that culture. So growing that culture into private universities or into XYZ colleges is not easy. So CLAT is not the only option. You have 4 or 5 more entrances. You can write LSAT also for OP Jindal University, Sonipat. Now coming to the next question which you asked me, कि भाई CLAT कैसे clear होता है? Again, you have cutoff of every year. If I have to mention this year, by God's grace, one of my students, she is a Lucknow topper, Arushi Tiwari. She secured rank 17 in your ALET, that is for NLU Delhi, and 85 in your CLAT exams. And many are joining Lucknow also. So, इन लोगों का हर साल एक कट ऑफ होता है and the cutoff is they vary year to year as per the performance. So, but roughly I can tell you top 1500 students in general category get national law universities.
Okay.
From first to the last one, general category. I am not telling much about the reserve ones because there is a process of reservation. So 6,000, 7,000 rank can also get admission through reservation. But being a student from a general category, 1,500, or if you are very lucky, it can go to 1,700. So you get admission to law university. Anything else you? I think I skipped the third point which you asked me.
It's absolutely fine, Nitin ji. I think that is what I was asking. Like people when say कि class clear हो गया का मतलब है they are within that range of cutoff marks. They mean to
Yes,
say.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
तो मतलब ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि you have to score जैसे एग्जाम्स में होता है like you have to score 60% to pass or 30%.
Nothing like that. The cutoff varies every year, ma'am.
Amresh ji has something to add to this, I think.
Generally, what happens, there are many universities who are taking admission through the CAT score only. So
Yes, sir.
passing, there is nothing like passing or failing CLAT. It's your rank in the CLAT or the score in the CLAT which matters. If you are higher ranking and higher score, then you will get the national law universities of your choice. And if you don't have, or if you have lower rank, then you will, although you have some score, some rank, but that will not fetch you your desired destination in the national law university. That's the issue. There is nothing like failing or passing. It's the rank which matters.
It's like any competitive examinations that we have, whether it is IIT, JEE or NEET or any other examination, rank matters. So CLAT also has the same thing, I guess. If Nitinji, if I'm correct.
They have a ranking system
Yeah.
from first, second, third. So if I have to tell you for Bangalore, top 93 students from general category will get Bangalore. Normally, if somebody leaves the seat and joining some other institution, so 93 से 94, 96, 97 हो सकता है. Max can go to 100 for a general category. But it won't happen that person who has secured a rank of 150 will get Bangalore.
Right.
So it depends on the it depends on your ranking. And another thing is the CLAT consortium, they give you one option known as preferences. So also as for your preferences, they allot you colleges. But again, you have to get the rank.
Right.
Yeah.
Amrenji, my question to you is like we see that you have a law firm of your own. So my question to you is, do law firms prefer candidates to have a law degree from a very high-end university or college, or is it something like anybody who is doing a law degree from any college in university, whether they are from the topmost colleges or not, or will they not be hired by any of the like law firms?
Sanchita, this is a very tricky question. It depends on the requirement of a firm and the nature of the firm. Like many law firms based in Delhi and Mumbai or in big cities, what they get is they do have offshore work. They are having works from US, then the Canada, then the London. All those offshore countries, they have work, the merger acquisition. So then they need the students or the candidates who can work in those environments, who are already having some basic exposure, who are having that much caliber of research work, so that they can survive in those cutthroat competition circumstances. In other side, there are litigation firms where you need a more rough tough guy who can sustain the pressure and the situation of the courts. If someone is working in the lower courts, then the candidate should not be a chui mui type that, like, if there is a heat wave going around in month of June, he cannot run in the court corridors. So
Okay.
it depends on the nature of work of the law firm, and it also depends on the availability of the candidates. And one more very important aspect as far as the students are concerned, as the campus selection is the order of the day in the national law universities. So the students get very good job offers from the big law firms, not only in India, even law firms from abroad are recruiting students from national law universities. I have seen recruitment process in Bangalore as well as in Bhopal, where the law firms from the world over, they come and recruit people from India. And it depends on number of aspects, like the nature of exposure the fellow has got in these 5 years, the moots he had participated, the conferences he had participated, the debates he had participated, the scholarships he got, because these are the indicators. On the number of indicators and the parameters, these are also relevant aspects while recruitment. And depending on that, the salary aspect is one of the most important aspects. With the entry of the corporate companies and the corporate law firms, the perks which are being offered to students from National Law Institute has gone very high. At times it runs into tens of lakhs per month, 5 lakhs per month, whole year package they are offering. So in this scenario, students themselves, they look for their own long-term goals and short-term goals in order to choose the law firm or the institution wherever he or she wants to join. So again, come back to your question. It depends on the nature of work, the nature of offer you are making, the payment offer, and the interest of the candidate. It's number of factors which are responsible.
It's almost to what Dr. Tiwari said, that in a law college they provide, in a national law college specifically, they provide every kind of development for a student, which actually gets them the job or the kind of profession they are wanting to land into. And again, going back to what Satyenji said, it's almost in sync. That is, overall development can only be obtained from a good place, and you need to choose that college or university very intelligently, so that your grooming is at the top. Yes, sir.
There is one more aspect I have seen in the recent trends. Like there are number of students who are going for higher studies, the LLM or the PhD, especially if they are going outside India from the universities. Then at times they opt for few years practice first after LLB, then they go for the higher studies. And one thing Dr. Atul Tiwari has said, there is a new concept, like the students while doing LLB, they are also simultaneously doing the CSIP, the CSIP, because these gives you an additional not only qualification, the knowledge of the corporate side of the law, the practical aspect of the corporate side of the law. Because while studying in LLB, we miss that practical aspect of the profession and the practical aspect of the practice. So these things are also relevant.
Yes, sir. Shirish, you have to say something.
Actually, this program is for career groomers. So I believe this is exploring the aspect of grooming in the legal field as well. Not only finding out the possibilities for careers in this particular field. So I have a few tips that I want to share for grooming in this particular in the field of law.
I would just like to stop you here, sir. I would like you to give this advice at the end, because I would like all the panelists to give a one piece of advice to all the aspirants, so that they can go. जो आखिरी में लोग सुनते हैं वही चीज सबसे ज्यादा याद रहता है. So, so if you don't mind, please keep it for the last.
I reserve my submissions for the end.
It's absolutely fine.
But one thing is very clear: nothing can beat the thrill of presenting a case. That is very thrilling, and that you miss out if you are not if you are not an advocate or you are not a judge. Otherwise, you are simply an employee working for someone else. So that thrill, that is the basic issue for being a lawyer, is missing in every other aspect, every other field.
Okay. Which means that
so a case is not only a case; it's an experience. It's a thrill because hopes of other people are attached to you, and you are their representative. So it gives you, it fills you with a sense of responsibility as well. Anyway, let's progress further.
Very challenging. Like one of our audience asked, like, is it a very challenging job? So yes, it is challenging.
Of course. Whenever I put on my robe, whenever I tie my band, I put on my coat and gown, I feel like a king. I walk like a king. And this is the feeling every advocate must have if he wants a career in the legal field.
I think
unless he is proud of his profession, he cannot be successful.
Yes, sir. Yes, very true. You have to be very, very proud of whatever you are doing. Yes, you have
confident
to be
and proud.
Yes. Atulji, should one go for masters in law and then doctoral studies to stand in a better position than the practicing lawyers who have just the LLB degrees?
No, my advice would be that if somebody is interested in doing practice in law, he should start practice after LLB.
Okay.
Because, earlier you start learning the tricks of practice, it is better. But if you are interested in pursuing academics in law, then go for LLM and PhD programs. However, nowadays, most of the law schools are offering 1 year LLM program. So if somebody is interested, to pursue some specialization in the field of law that he would like to practice, he may go for 1-year program. And as pointed out by Amarendra ji, that there are students who are interested in doing LLM from foreign. So yes, national law universities are preferred by Oxford, Cambridge, Yale, UCL. So best of the law schools in the world, they prefer national law university students, and it gives, they have a different system. Instead of CLAT-like competition, they mostly take admission based on recommendations and their criteria. Okay, so that is separate. If you conduct some kind of that foreign program kind of counseling, then I will tell you about those things as well.
Yes, sir.
But yes, I mean, it is sincerely not advisable if you are interested in doing practice to pursue LLM and PhD. Yeah.
Okay. So, like, I feel very enthusiastic to hear about this particular profession, and especially viewing all the things and going by the news and all. And as said by Shirishji and Amarendra, that it's very challenging and it's very exciting. So, is there, like, if I want to pursue LLB right now, is that the right age for me? Like, is there any cutoff age from where a person can start to pursue this particular course?
No, at the moment, there is no upper age limit prescribed, and therefore you may pursue. So yes, you can.
One
You
thing
have
I
an
may add,
analytical blend of mind. You should
Bar
pursue.
Council has prescribed maximum age limit to enter into profession, but that
Okay.
rule has been stayed by the Honorable Supreme Court. Matter is still pending.
And what is the age like? Upper age limit?
It has prescribed 50 years. After 50 years of age, because we are seeing trained people after completing their job at the end of their retirement, at the age of 60 years. After retirement, they are coming and join the profession. To stop that, the Bar Council has provided this through their regulations. But now the Supreme Court has stated that, because they say that this is violative of Article 19. So everybody has a right to choose their profession if they have the degree, valid degree.
Okay. Yes, I too have seen this. Like, one of my friends, he was into marine engineering, and after taking retirement from marine engineering, he pursued his LLB, and now he has started his own law firm, and he is running that with the concept of maritime law practices. I heard it for the first time. So I think it's another field of law altogether.
It is very lucrative, madam, that maritime practice. You have marine jurisdiction in Mumbai and Chennai, and you have specialized lawyers for that who works for this marine firms.
Okay.
So Pathak and Pathak is one of the examples. And if you get a job with Pathak and Pathak, they're going to pay you in dollars, and you're paid per hours. So your friend must be minting money right now if he is working for a marine firm.
We have been building money, not making money.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Not only Bombay and Chennai, but Kochi
Yes, sir.
also.
Kochi also. Yes, sir. Correct. Correct. Sir.
So it's a new upcoming field or what?
No,
No,
it's
this is not a new field of law. It was already there, but now it has further been developed.
एक अगर एज अ लेमैन समझना है, समुद्र में जो शिप्स आती हैं या जाती हैं, उससे रिलेटेड कोई मैटर होगा तो यहाँ पे होगा.
जितने
As a
दुनिया भर
layman,
में बिजनेस है, सब उससे उसी पे डिपेंडेंट है.
हाँ, सर.
एक्सपोर्ट इंपोर्ट.
जी.
Okay. Coming back again to Shirishji, what are the different fields of law? Like you are into service fields. So are you in, like, my question to you is, different fields of law में आप बताएंगे मुझे कि अलग-अलग क्या क्या fields हो सकते हैं? Because if I take an example कि you are into services, are you entitled to take a case in cybercrime or labor union?
Yes.
या आपको हर चीज आना जरूरी
Yes.
होता है?
One has to be an advocate only to take up any case, irrespective of the field. This is only an incident that most.
ये जो है ये सिर्फ साइबर क्राइम्स लेते हैं, ये
नहीं
सिर्फ
नहीं
civil
ऐसा नहीं
cases
है.
लेते हैं,
No,
लेते हैं.
nothing like that. It's like Amitabh Bachchan is an angry young man, so he can take up any emotional role also. So this question is like that. So if you have to have an advocate to practice in a court of law, irrespective of the field of law. Initially, there were broadly four arms of the law, arms on the subject: criminal, civil, revenue, and taxation. But now there are various other fields also: science and technology, as you said, maritime, media houses, the law that regulates the telecast of the programs. They are the new fields: company law, corporate law, company affairs, FERA, FEMA. So there is one more tribunal I have heard that is available in Delhi. I'm missing out the name, but there are no lawyers. It's a new field: competition tribunal. The FERA Act was repealed and a new law was incorporated in the name of Competition Act. But
Yes.
there are no lawyers to practice in the field because this is a new subject. So there are immense opportunities for young talent to practice in the field of law. But they have to have patience also.
Okay. Fields बहुत सारे हैं and new fields are also coming up, I guess.
Consumer law.
जी जी
और ये सारी फील्ड्स जो हैं ये होती हैं इनिशियली जो 4 ऑर्गन्स थे उन्हीं का बाइफर्केशन है फर्दर फील्ड्स की। चाहे वो आप लॉ ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट पढ़ लें, सर्विस लॉ क्या है, ये भी लॉ ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है। अ सर्विस इज एन एग्रीमेंट बिटवीन द एम्प्लॉयर एंड एम्प्लॉई, अ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बिटवीन 2 पार्टीज। रेवेन्यू लॉ उसी के ऑफशूट्स हैं जो टैक्स जो हम और चीजों को देख रहे हैं। लैंड एक्विजिशन वगैरह भी दे ऑल हैव ओरिजिनेटेड फ्रॉम रेवेन्यू लॉ। इसी तरह से टैक्सेशन, इंटरनेशनल टैक्सेशन इज अ ऑफशूट ऑफ टैक्सेशन लॉ। और ये साइबर क्राइम्स रिलेटिंग टू साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी, दे बैंक फ्रॉड्स, दे आर नथिंग एल्स बट अ ब्रांच ऑफ द क्रिमिनल लॉ।
So just taking your lead
Basically,
from
there are 4 fields of law which has bifurcated into various other fields.
specialization ज़्यादा से हो गए। Okay, so
IPR
थोड़ा सा
है।
हम digress करेंगे इससे। These days one word is coming, that is POCSO and POSH. So prevention of sexual harassment in workplaces and prevention of sexual harassment for children. So is this also a field of law or is it also a bifurcation of the major 4 fields?
Criminal
And,
law. It's
criminal
it's
law.
a
Okay.
it's a bifurcation of criminal law. POCSO is an act which deals with criminal activities
Against children.
carried out with a minor.
Okay. So, sir, in the ICC committee that we have for POSH, like the internal committee, every organization which which is mandatory. So, one person has to be from the field of law. So, he has to be a criminal lawyer, you mean to say?
Not necessary.
Okay.
Not necessary.
You have to be an advocate to take up any case. It's not that if you sorry. It's not that if you are practicing in civil matters, you cannot take up a case relating to criminal matters. You can take up the assignment provided you do your homework, you are honest to your work, and you put your heart and soul into that field.
Right.
I wanted to add something to make it little lucid. जो आपने एडवोकेट शिरीष कुमार जी से पूछा कि भाई आप जो है स्पेशलाइज करते हैं एक पर्टिकुलर फील्ड में तो बाकी केसेस ले सकते हैं कि नहीं। सो मैम मान लीजिए किसी को बुखार है और आपके घर के पास में एक चेस्ट स्पेशलिस्ट है, तो आप उसके पास जाएंगे इनको बच्चे को लेके? जरूर, वो भी बता सकता है दवा। तो यू कैन प्रैक्टिस ऑल द स्पेशलिस्ट होना एक अलग बात है, बट सारे केसेस ये लोग कर सकते हैं। कोई भी एडवोकेट कोई भी केस टेकअप कर लेता है।
इसलिए आप हो जाती है
आपने लिए हैं जिसका डायग्नोसिस ज्यादा किया है उसमें आपकी स्पेशलाइजेशन हो जाती है, बट दे आर फ्री टू टेक एनी काइंड ऑफ केसेस।
स्पेशलिस्ट आप इसलिए हो जाते हैं कि एक ही तरह के केसेस आपके पास ज्यादा।
जी जी जी, मैं भी
आपने कहा था कि बार काउंसिल में रजिस्ट्रेशन होना जरूरी है। ये बार काउंसिल में रजिस्ट्रेशन क्या आपके एलएलबी के डायरेक्ट बाद इज इट मैंडेटरी और इज इट अप टू यू दैट यू वांट टू गेट रजिस्टर्ड और नॉट?
Yes, it's voluntary. If you want to practice, you have to get registered. And immediately after completing the undergraduate course, you can get enrolled with the Bar Association. But now, the Bar Association has introduced the examination also. There is an all India bar examination also. Unless you qualify that examination, you cannot practice as an advocate.
Okay. Because my question was for Dr. Atul Tiwari, because he is LLB, then LLM, and also a PhD in law. So, are you not entitled to practice in a court?
No, I'm entitled to get myself registered as an advocate and I can practice.
Okay. You can, yes, sir, I'm ready.
Only thing is that we are not supposed to pursue two occupations together.
Together.
Okay.
Advocate means I should be full-time advocate. I should not be pursuing another service.
Okay. As a freelancer also you cannot be, sir.
As Dr. Tiwari
Yeah, please go ahead. Tripathi.
as Dr. Tiwari was saying, he can very well practice law. The only bar is with the Bar Council rules, which says that no one can be employed anywhere. If you are a lawyer registered with Bar Council, and if you want to take up a job, either in a law firm or in a company or a government job or whatever, then you need to get your license to practice suspended from the Bar Council. Because if you are on the rolls of any employer, then you cannot practice, then that is a misconduct under the Bar Council rule.
Okay.
As per Advocates Act and lawyer, an advocate is an officer of law, officer of the court. So he's not supposed to draw any salary from any other organization.
Right.
So as Dr. Atul Kumar Tiwari is there or I am there, we are not advocates, but we have studied law because we are drawing salaries from some other organizations. So as per the rule, we cannot practice. That is a. But if we opt, we can resign and we can go and we can make our license from the Bar Council and we can practice post that.
But we welcome advocates to come and teach law in our law school.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Because some of the practical aspects can be told to the students by practicing advocates only.
Okay.
Yes.
So vice versa is possible.
So they are legal luminaries, not
Procedural law is
advocates.
being taught by. Now, there is one thing which has been introduced by the Bar Council is one examination. Anyone who had passed out LLB after 2010 is required to pass one elementary examination known as AIB, All India Bar Examination, to be entitled to appear in a court of law.
Okay.
Unless you pass that examination, you are not entitled. So Bar Council and the Supreme Court E-Committee is trying to enforce that, to ensure that only persons who have passed out LLB after 2010 are necessarily those persons who have AIB cleared.
Right, sir. Sir, as a career counselor, what would you tell to the aspirants as what are the key strengths and skills needed to be a good lawyer? Like, what are the things that one should have before starting to think about even going in for a law course? क्या मतलब ये बोला जाता है कि बोलने में अच्छा हो ऐसा हो, is it like that, or is there something there that is the key strength that a person should have for pursuing a career in law?
थैंक यू डॉक्टर संचिता। बेसिकली अगर आप किसी अच्छे लॉयर के टर्म्स में बात करें और आप उनके स्किल्स एंड स्ट्रेंथ्स के बारे में बात करें, तो चाहे वो हो चाहे और भी जगह पे हो, द एबिलिटी टू वर्क इन अ टीम, बिकॉज कहीं ना कहीं आप भले कोर्ट ऑफ लॉ में अकेले पैरवी कर रहे हो या अदरवाइज वहाँ पे आपकी टीम आपके साथ कहीं ना कहीं एसोसिएट होती है. So you have to have the ability to work in a team. That is very, very essential. And you need to have the skills of respect and empathy, not only for your teammates, but also for the people, for your clients. Because वो बहुत सारे अलग अलग बैकग्राउंड से आते हैं, उनके अलग अलग बहुत सारे दर्द होते हैं या पेन एरियाज होते हैं. तो you need to have the respect and empathy. That is very essential, you know. And इसको हमें बहुत अच्छे से फोकस करना पड़ेगा. The people who actually enjoy working, they should go for it. और एक बड़ा इसमें प्रश्न आता है कि भाई टीम वर्क की आप बात करते हैं, तो हाउ टू डेवलप दिस सिस्टम. In order to develop this system, you need to involve with the team in the society, that schools and universities. to have fun and make friends, and you definitely gain valuable teamwork skills without even noticing it. सो यूनिवर्सिटीज या कॉलेजेस जहाँ पर भी आप ये चीज़ कर रहे हैं, जहाँ पे आपको इस तरह का एक्सपोजर मिलता है, ये एक बहुत अच्छा आपके पास एक मिल सकता है प्लेटफॉर्म, एक बेस वर्क आपका हो सकता है जहाँ से आप टीम वर्क को डेवलप कर सकते हैं। दूसरी बात आपके पास होनी चाहिए इनिशिएटिव एंड इंडिपेंडेंस का, मतलब while teamwork is fundamental to success, it's said, but it is also essential that you need to be decisive. Whenever such a situation demands, आपको ऐसी सिचुएशन में किसी और पे डिपेंड होने के बजाय यू नीड टू बी डिसाइसिव, यू नीड टू टेक डिसीजन. सो देयरफॉर एज अ ट्रेनी लॉयर you must get responsibility, you must fetch the responsibilities so that you can develop these kind of skills. और इसमें ऐसा नहीं है, आपके पास डेफिनेटली मेंटर्स बहुत अच्छे हो सकते हैं और उनके साथ में आप बैठ के सिचुएशंस को कॉन्टेम्पलेट कर सकते हैं, डिसाइड अपॉन कर सकते हैं और उनके सजेशंस को आप आगे बढ़ा सकते हैं. तो यू नीड टू इनोवेट. तीसरा सबसे बड़ी बात है कि जो आपका जो प्रॉब्लम solving है, you have to be very creative in solving the problem. People often consider the law as a profession which is void of creativity, but actually ऐसा माना नहीं जाता. We have extreme panelists here जो कि practicing lawyers हैं. यहाँ पर क्या है कि जो क्लाइंट हैं उनकी प्रॉब्लम्स कई बार हमारे पास बहुत ऑब्वियस नहीं होती है, क्योंकि जो क्लाइंट आपके पास में आ रहा है वो लॉ के बारे में नहीं जानता, वो केवल अपने हिसाब से, अपने टर्म्स के हिसाब से, अपनी बेसिक लेमैन्स लैंग्वेज में आपकी समस्याओं को बता रहा है. नाउ योर जॉब हैज टू एक्सप्लोर द एवेन्यूज, गेट इनटू द आर्गुमेंट्स, एक्सप्लोर एंड fetch the basic crux में कहना क्या चाहता है आउट ऑफ हिज वर्ड्स एंड इमोशन दैट ही इज पोर्ट्रेइंग देयर. तो आपको वहाँ पे उनकी प्रॉब्लम्स को आइडेंटिफाई करना एंड देन यू हैव टू क्रिएट द सॉल्यूशन फॉर दैट. और इसके लिए सबसे बड़ी बात ये होती है कि जब आप लीगल फील्ड में हो या कहीं और पे भी हो, आप उनके साथ बैठे, अपने जितने ज़्यादा आप एक्सपोजर में जाते जाएंगे, जितने आप अपने एक्सपर्ट्स के साथ में बैठ के बात करते रहेंगे, जितना इनोवेटिव होंगे, जितना एम्पैथेटिक होंगे, उतना ही आप इसको अच्छे से निकाल सकते हैं. दूसरी बात, यहाँ पर आपके डॉक्यूमेंटेशन पे बहुत बात आती है. तो यू नीड टू हैव द रिटन कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स, जब आप पैरवी करते हैं तो यू नीड टू हैव द वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स. तो यहाँ पर आपका जो टाइपोज या ग्रामेटिकल एरर्स हैं, ये इसको तो कहीं ना कहीं आपके वर्क को अंडरमाइन कर सकते हैं. तो यू नीड टू फोकस अपॉन दैट. तो जो आपका फ्लुएंट या आर्टिकुलेट राइटिंग स्टाइल है वो डेफिनेटली आपके क्लाइंट्स को बहुत कॉन्फिडेंस देता है. और इसी तरह से जो आपका वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन है, बिकॉज एट द कोर्ट ऑफ लॉ व्हेन यू आर लॉयर और आपका अपोजिशन लॉयर भी वहाँ पर है, एडवोकेट वहाँ पर हैं, तो वहाँ पर जो कम्युनिकेशन स्किल है वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करती है. नॉट ओनली लॉ, कोर्ट ऑफ लॉ, बट जब आप क्लाइंट से मीटिंग करते हैं, जब आप फोन कॉल्स करते हैं, जब आप इन्वेस्टिगेशंस की तरफ आगे बढ़ते हैं, जब आप प्रेजेंटेशंस पे बात करते हैं, तो ये सारी चीज़ें भी वहाँ पे बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होती है. एंड टू डेवलप, इन ऑर्डर टू डेवलप दीज काइंड ऑफ स्किल्स, आपको पब्लिक स्पीकिंग में अपने आप को धीरे धीरे प्रैक्टिस में लेके आना चाहिए, सो दैट यू कैन फाइंड आउट द वेज टू प्रैक्टिस एंड कॉम्बैट फियर्स दैट यू हैव.
अच्छा,
क्योंकि बहुत लोग
सत्येंद्र जी, आपसे एक सवाल ये है कि जैसे बाकी पैनलिस्ट ने बोला कि अलग लॉ के करियर्स होते हैं, लिटिगेशन एक अलग एस्पेक्ट हो जाता है, तो आपके हिसाब से लाइक यू आर सेइंग दैट वन मस्ट हैव वेरी गुड पब्लिक स्पीकिंग स्किल्स, मतलब हम ये मान के चल सकते हैं कि जो बच्चा 9th 10th 11th 12th में बहुत अच्छे से हु इज अ विनर डिबेटियर, he would be a good litigator. Can we equate this?
हाँ, डेफिनेटली. देखिए, आपका कहीं ना कहीं आपको पब्लिक डीलिंग करनी है. पब्लिक डीलिंग में यू नीड टू कम्युनिकेट. अगर आप केवल ऑफिस डेस्क में बैठ के केवल काम करना चाह रहे हैं तो एक अलग बात हो जाती है, बट आप जब प्रैक्टिस में जाना चाहते हैं और आपको पब्लिक के साथ इंटरैक्ट करना है और अपने केस को पुटअप करना है, प्रेजेंटेशंस देनी है, तो विदाउट कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स दैट कैन नॉट बी डन. जी. और मैं अपनी बात को कंटिन्यू करते ये भी कहूँगा कि ऐसे बहुत सारे केसेस होते हैं जहाँ पे आपको डे इन डे आउट काम करना पड़ सकता है, आपको समय का कोई ख्याल हो सकता है कि ना देना पड़े. दैट मीन्स इट इज़ अ काइंड ऑफ सिचुएशन वेयर यू आर वर्किंग द प्रेशर. तो आपको ऐसे चीज़ों में जहाँ पर कि डेडलाइंस आपको मीट करनी है, जहाँ पे आपके टाइम टेबल्स एंड प्लान्स हैं, जहाँ पे आपको बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट टास्क को देखना है, तो प्रेशर सिचुएशन में भी आपको काम करना होगा. और कहीं ना कहीं आपके पास जो आपका कमर्शियल अवेयरनेस है वो भी देखना होगा. जो लोग आपके साथ में आ रहे हैं, जो आपके फेलो लॉयर्स हैं, जो आपके क्लाइंटल्स हैं, जो आपके जजेस हैं और बाकी सोसाइटी मैटर्स हैं,
जी
उनके साथ भी आपको बैठ के डिस्कस करना होगा या उनको भी समझने की आवश्यकता होगी। रिसर्च स्किल्स आपकी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, रिसर्च आपको करना पड़ेगा, पुराने केसेस में किस तरह के फैसले आए हुए हैं, उनका क्या इम्प्लीकेशन इस पर्टिकुलर केस में हो सकता है। जैसे अभी शीशे सर ने बताया कि बहुत सारे जो आज की तारीख में नए लॉज इंक्लूडिंग साइबर लॉ एंड ऑल, ये सारे पीछे के किसी न किसी से उसी का एक्सटेंशन है या उसी के बाइफर्केशन से आगे निकल के आ रहे हैं। तो ये सारे रिसर्च की स्किल्स भी आपको है, प्रिपरेशन आपके पास होनी चाहिए। और सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट बात है कि जो भी आपकी डिटेल्स है, यू हैव टू वेरी वेरी अटेंटिव टू ऑल द डिटेल्स। हो सकता है कि बिल्कुल आप कहीं कोई विस्पर वाली बात है या रीडिंग बिटवीन लाइन्स वाली जो बात है उसको आप समझ लें। और उसको डेवलप कैसे कर सकते हैं, आपको किसी भी डॉक्यूमेंट को पढ़ना या किसी की भी बातों को सुनने में टाइम एंड अटेंशन वहाँ पे डेडिकेट करना पड़ेगा, आपको बहुत वहाँ पे फोकस होकर रखना पड़ेगा। और जब भी आप कोई रीडिंग बुक से आर्टिकल की तरफ आप जा रहे हैं कि आप आर्टिकल पढ़ें या किताबों को पढ़ें या किसी पुराने केसेस को पढ़ें और उसमें एविडेंसेस को एक्सप्लोर करने की कोशिश करें, तो जितना ज़्यादा आप करते जाएंगे, जितना आप उसमें समय निकालेंगे, जितना आप रिपीट उसमें जाएंगे, बहुत ज़रूरी है। क्योंकि एक छोटी सी भी डिटेल अगर आप मिस कर सकते हैं तो वो कहीं ना कहीं आपके
ये मेरे ख्याल से जो आप कह रहे हैं ये है आपका बिफोर स्टार्टिंग टू थिंक अबाउट हैविंग अ करियर इन लॉ, ये सारे स्किल्स आपके पास होने चाहिए। बाकी स्किल्स के बारे में डॉक्टर तिवारी ने बताया कि वो कॉलेजेस में बच्चों में डेवलप हो जाता है बाय ऑर्गेनाइजिंग फेस्ट, बाय ऑर्गेनाइजिंग इवेंट्स एंड मूविंग ऑन टू कॉन्फ्रेंसेस एंड सेमिनार्स, और जो करिकुलम है उसमें हो जाता है। और बाकी सारे और पॉइंट्स बाकी हमारे पैनलिस्ट ने लिया है। Just moving on to, we are left with a very limited time. My question to Amren ji would be, how can one become a corporate lawyer? Is doing MBA entitles him to going for this thing? Like after doing MBA, if he does his LLB, I don't know whether it is right or wrong, but क्या इसके बाद कोई कॉर्पोरेट लॉयर बन सकता है? क्योंकि आजकल सुनने में आता है कि कॉर्पोरेट लॉयर्स बहुत डिमांड में है, बहुत पेइंग जॉब है, बहुत कुछ सुनने को आता है। सो व्हाट वुड यू से अबाउट दिस?
Sanchita, as far as this lawyer is concerned, whether it's a corporate lawyer, litigation lawyer, one need not to be an expert of management. You need to manage only the law, the facts, and the courts. Or
Okay.
if you are in the corporate side, then you are to be an expert to manage the transaction. Generally, what happens in the corporate houses, you deal with the big transactions like mergers, acquisitions, then the other corporate activities going on in the whole world. In
Right.
such organizations, the big companies are looking someone who has knowledge of the at least basic knowledge of the management concept, because the purpose of corporate law is to plug the holes, loopholes, which may result into litigation in future. Or
Right.
if litigation is an eventuality, in such an eventuality, all the rights and entitlements of the company or the organizations are being kept intact. So the person should foresee all the eventualities which might occur in future. If someone who is also a management expert or is having basic knowledge of the management, then that is an added advantage to big law firm lawyers who are working on big transactions. Take an example. If some airlines from the foreign company comes into India and invest here, then such companies, I'm talking about the Kingfisher Airlines. I had worked on that project for Luthral for certain period of time in a litigation. So in that transaction, you need to pass through at least 500 laws, various compliances, licenses, this and that. So you need to be an expert to manage all those things. So if you have managerial skills, then that becomes handy.
Right.
If someone is working on such a contract, especially at the higher level, if somebody is on the lowest level, it might not be that necessary. So if you want to go into the higher level in the corporate field, then this management skill or the management degree becomes very handy. That is why the students who are coming from national law schools, they opt for management degree from good management colleges. But that is not compulsory. But definitely it gives you advantage.
Okay. Atul ji, we are left with very limited time. My last question to you would be any research related career in law, and where is it done, and does it have any scope in India?
Okay, so as per UGC guideline, now coming 2021, for teaching in the university and colleges, you have to have a PhD degree. So that is a research degree. So that is one. And then there are certain international organizations, NGOs, human rights organizations who conduct research in the field of law. And if you have a research degree, they give you preference. Yeah.
Okay. So
There are content writers also. Content writing is also one of the fields.
okay, in law. Okay, sir. Okay, right. So Nitin ji,
एक पॉइंट बस ऐड करने जा रहा हूँ जो सत्येंद्र साहब बता रहे थे। आप लोग नॉर्मली सोचते हैं जो बहस बहुत करता है अच्छा एडवोकेट बनेगा। अच्छा एडवोकेट वो बनता है जो टू द पॉइंट बात करता है, कोर्ट में इतना समय नहीं होता है।
अच्छा.
So if you can speak to the point, you can become a good advocate.
Okay.
So that is one last thing which I wanted to tell the youngsters.
Noted,
Yeah.
sir. Shirish ji, last सवाल आपसे मेरा ये होगा कि if a person chooses to practice, have his own private practice, there are so many people who pass every year and they get registered for bar council. How do you make yourself known, and why would anyone come to a newcomer, and why not go to a person who's already established in that field? What will be your suggestion and to the newcomers?
When I had joined the bar, when I decided to join the bar, one piece of advice was given to me by my father. Never sit in the library. You roam around in the courts to make yourself known to all the advocates as well as who comes to court premises. So I never sit in the library. I never immerse myself in studies during the court hour unless it's very necessary.
Right.
So you roam around, you meet people, you socialize so that everybody knows that you are an advocate. So
Networking matters.
yes, this is what I'm saying is very contrary to a popular belief, because the lawyers are known to study a lot. But first you establish your identity in the court by socializing, by making yourself acquainted with everyone, and then whenever a case comes, you involve yourself in the studies. Fine, and I believe this advice worked. It worked.
Yes, it has worked for you. It will work for everybody, and networking does matter. I think it works for every kind of profession. The more you network, the more you get to know people, and the more people will come to you. That's a kind of key mantra. Now, audience and everybody, we have actually come to the end of the session, today's session. I hope it was interesting and hope it was useful for you. All my panelists to give 1 minute piece of passing remark or advice as a panelist to the new law graduates or maybe to the law aspirants. So, can we start from Atulji?
Yeah, being in academics, I would say that choose your career wisely. Choose law as career. It gives you immense opportunity. You can decide later on, say after 5 years of pursuing law, what you want to become. Even for civil services, law is one of the best subjects. So choose it early. Enter into this field at the 12th level.
Right, sir. Amren, sir.
Go and live your dream.
इसमें सबसे बड़ी बात है, चाहे आप लॉ की तैयारी कर रहे हो, चाहे आप लॉ की तैयारी करने के बाद अपने प्रोफेशनल लाइफ में आ गए, दोनों ही कंडीशन में आपको जो अगर आपका लैक ऑफ प्रिपरेशन है तो आपकी पोजीशन को चेक करने वाला है. So what you need to do is you need to dedicate time to prepare and use the variety of resources that you can do. Right. दूसरी बात सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट है, ये आजकल जो डिजिटल युग है, यू हैव टू बी वेरी वेरी अवेयर कि जो आपको फेक न्यूज या फेक आर्टिकल से इसके बनस्पत में आपको अपने आप को जो एक्चुअल नॉलेज है उन दोनों के बीच में फिल्टर करने की बहुत आवश्यकता है. तो यू नीड टू ब्रॉडन योर नॉलेज बट ऑल्सो टू इंश्योर दैट यू आर नॉट गेटिंग ट्रैप्ड इन ऑल दैट काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स. और रिसर्च तो करिए और अपने एक मेंटोर्स और सीनियर से डेफिनेटली आप बात करिए, वो इंडस्ट्री एक्सपर्ट्स हैं उनसे आप डेफिनेटली बात करिए, वो आपको रिस्पेक्टिव फील्ड में बहुत मदद करेंगे, बहुत इंसाइट आपको मिलेंगे. इट्स वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग फील्ड एक्चुअली.
थैंक यू सो
बहुत मजा आ रहा है.
1 minute piece of advice जो आप बताना चाह रहे थे बच्चों को to the aspirants. Yes, sir. So you reserve something to be told.
The first is patience, because to establish yourself, one needs at least initial 5 years of struggle.
Yes,
So
sir.
one has to be very patient because you are always judged by others. This is the basic difference between being a lawyer and being a doctor. Because as a doctor, you diagnose the disease and start the treatment. But here, you convince yourself with the case, then you convince the judge. And you are judged not only by the judge, by the litigant, but by those also who are sitting in the court and watching your performance. So one has to be very patient. Secondly, one need to have a very pleasing having a pleasing personality. Your client will not have, you will not inspire confidence in the in your who are reporting faith in you, and they hand over their cases early. One has to be very acquainted, very well conversant with the present case laws and the latest trends in the subject. Unless you are aware of the latest judgments, latest amendments in the act, you will not be able to convince yourself and the court to decide a particular case in a particular manner. Secondly, etiquette also, because it's a very competitive field. So you have lesser friends and more critics. So you have to take everything in your stride and never lose your patience or never lose your cool to react to a particular situation or to a particular person. You have to maintain your etiquettes as well. So these are the basic qualities an advocate necessarily need to have.
Thank you so much, sir. The last comment comes from Nitinji.
Have self-belief. That's the most important thing for any profession. And if you are confused which stream you have to choose in law, though I have not chosen that stream, litigation is still the best. So if you want to become a hardcore lawyer, work, litigate, struggle for 5 years. After 5 years, life will be beautiful. Not beautiful, but you will be successful. So litigation is the best stream of law. And again, have confidence. That will be my advice to the students.
Thumbs up to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
मुंह की बात छीन ली, इसी को कहते हैं. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. First of all, I would like to thank each and every panelist here because they shared their in-depth knowledge and whatever they could share so that the lives of the aspirants become easier. You told about a lot of things. That is, you have to have patience. That is the first thing, and you have to ensure that you ensure your dreams, and you have to have good communication skill. And overall, when you are choosing your career, it should be in a very scientific manner. And the one thing that I would like to add to this is, before choosing a career, you must first choose and see is, do you really have the aptitude to do that? And Career Groomers stand always by your side to find out what is the right aptitude for you to take up any career. Please contact us anytime you feel like we are always there. Contact us on our website, that is www.careergroomers.in, and we can be there for your answers at info.careergroomers@gmail.com. Saying that, a big namaste to all of you from my
Thank
end
you.
and Career Groomers side, and thanks to all the participants. Without you, this program would not have been so successful. And thank you, Suresh ji, Atul ji, Amren ji, Nitin ji, and Satin ji. Thank you so much, and have a nice
Same
Sunday.
here.
Thank you so
Same
much.
here.
Thank you.